Take control of your mind the way you do your breathing. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Feeling the power of you controlling your own breathing. The same way you control your mind. One breath at a time, one thought at a time. Good air and thoughts in, bad air and bad thoughts out. Now, let's see our vision today. Let's see ourselves doing the best we can on all the exercises and stretches we do here together today, right now. Go into the future right now. See in your mind's eye. See yourself doing the best you can on whatever exercise we do together. See it so clearly that it feels real. When that music shuts off, if you've already seen it in your mind and you believe that you can make it happen, you're going to make it real. You're going to win. Good morning, determination. How you doing today, everyone? Hopefully you're having another great day, a great start to the day. This is the morning. This is where we win our minds and therefore win our days and our lives. So here we go. When I say go, we're going to start jogging on the spot, everyone. Okay, ready? And go. Once again, always thinking about our breathing. Here we are again together, always in the gym of life. The gym where we grow our minds every day, where you grow your mind every day. The same way we work on growing our bodies to become stronger, healthier. The same way we work on our minds to make better decisions. Determinations, positive choices, healthy choices, peaceful, kind, loving, grateful choices for us and each other. Almost there, almost there. Keep going. All right, and stop. And walking, everybody. Walking on the spot or side to side within the space you have. And focusing on our breathing, as always. Our breathing. Most powerful thing we can control, along with our minds. Alright. Let's start doing our shoulder rolls, determination. Here we go. Shoulder rolls. 10 forward. And then we'll do 10 backwards. Best shoulder rolls ever. Here we go. Again, feeling the power of controlling our bodies with our thoughts, with our energy, our thinking energy. All right, and backwards. All the way up and all the way around. Good, just feel the joy of just being here right now, moving your body, becoming better. Here we go. Arm circles forward. Working on becoming better than we were yesterday or even a second ago or a minute ago. Always thinking about being our best. And backwards, everyone, backwards. We'll do 10 backwards as well. 10 big arm circles backwards. Alright, good work everyone. Okay, let's put our hands on our hips. Bend the knees and side stretch. 5 on each side. Alright, and let's twist our hips. Again, 5 on each side. Keep your feet flat on the floor and just twist your body. Alright, excellent. Okay, let's do 5 push-ups together. 5 push-ups, the best push-ups we've ever done. Alright, and let's do 5 squats. Here we go, ready? Best 5 squats ever. Looking straight ahead, feet flat on the floor. Good. Alright, let's do lunges, 3 on each side. Arms out, back straight. Try to look straight ahead. Alright, good. Okay, and let's do 5 sit-ups. Here we go. Best 5 sit-ups ever. Alright, and let's do 10-second plank. Now these knees off the ground. Here we go. Excellent. All right, everyone, and let's stand up and reach for the ceiling or the sky, depending on where we are, on your toes. Here we go. Reach, reach, reach. Hold it there for 10 seconds. If you happen to lose your balance, just get it right back. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep learning from the information you're getting from your body and your mind about what you're doing. Okay, and reach for your toes now, straight knees. Hold it there. Go as far down as you can. It's okay if you don't touch your toes, just reach. Strive, keep going, reaching. Safely. Not hurting yourself, always thinking of safety first. Alright, okay, and come on up. And
Rockets in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. Yeah. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Woo. Everybody just have a good time. Party rockets in the house tonight. Oh. Everybody just have a good time. I can feel it. And we gon' make you lose your mind. Yeah. We just wanna see you shake that.
Party rock, looking for your girl, she on my jock. Now stop when we in the spot. Booty moving weight like she on the block. With a drink, I got to know. Top jeans tattoo, cause I'm rock wrong. Half black, half white, diamond now. Gang of money, open up.
Yo, I'm running through these halls like Drano. I got that devilish flow, rock and roll, no halo. We party rock. Yeah, that's the crew that I'm repping on a rise to the top. No lead in our Zeppelin. Hey,
party rockers in the house tonight. Woo! Everybody just have a good time.
Yeah,
and we gon' make you lose your mind. Everybody just have a good time.
Let's go.
Party rockers in the house tonight. Everybody just have a good time. And we gon' make you lose your mind. We just wanna see you shake that.
to Lionel Messi. Messi, brilliantly, somehow gets it to Rakitic, back to Messi. And Messi emerges with such a vital goal for Barcelona.
Morning, guys. Today, Maya Angelou provides us another powerful thought that we should try to implement today, and that is always do your best. It sounds so simple, but it's so hard to apply. But if we can remember it and learn from Maya Angelou, we can have so much success, happiness in our life. And she talks about an example where, and somebody was interviewing her on when she wrote her book, Phenomenal Woman, and they asked her, do you write with a purpose to inspire people? And she simply said, no, I just write to do my best with the hopes that that will inspire people. So whatever you're doing today, look at your day, even the simplest thing, do it to the best of your ability, because you have no idea the positive consequences that can come from it. So just do your best wherever you are today. Think of what you have to do. Have a great morning, everyone.
You have to have a very clear vision, a very clear goal of where you want to go, because only then you will get there. You can have the best airplane or the best ship in the world, but if the captain doesn't know where to go, he will just drift around. If the pilot does not know where to go, he will just drift around with his plane. So I think the key thing is that we know where we're going.
You can try 1,000 different things, but there are no shortcuts. You have to put in the time. And when you find something you love, then put in the time to be great at it. Because once you're great at something, whether it's apparel, whether it's bull riding, whether it's making videos, no one quits anything they're good at, because it's fun and you can make money at it.
For a business to get going, you've got to have, number one, a great product. You got to understand the financial side, and then you've got to be able to operate that business, and then you need to have to sell and market that business. And if you don't do all four of those things in the beginning, you're not going to be successful.
In my past years, I'm always a good student. Keep on learning. You don't have to be the best, but you have to know who is better than you are and work with him.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I watch these videos every day because I need them for motivation. Being around successful entrepreneurs every morning helps me believe that I can do great things too. It's like your morning coffee, but for your goals, kickstarting your day with a blast of positivity. So here is a challenge for you. Try watching one video every morning for the next 30 days. And let's find out together if they help you do great things too. If you're in, leave a hashtag BELIEVE in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. So today, let's get some incredible business motivation in only a couple of hours. Believe.
You got to be curious, right? You know, if there's something you had to learn the apparel industry.
Yes, sir.
How much time did you spend reading and learning and online and going through things and making mistakes? And that's the example,
yes,
right?
Sir.
So if you're out there, okay, I want to do this, this, and this, and this. Great. You just got to give it a shot.
Yes, sir.
There's no perfect approach, but one thing I will tell you, you got to be careful not to fall for all the online traps, like drop shipping. Like, you know, my son, like, look, Dad, look at this. They said you can make all this money. I'm like, Jake, let me just tell you something. If I had a great idea for drop shipping, you know, the one thing I'm not going to do is tell everybody else, right? I'm going to do it myself and just kill it, right?
Yeah.
You know, if I've got this thing, you know, this magic approach for stocks, you think I'm going to tell everybody else who's going to go out buy the same stocks before I buy them or whatever? No, I'm just going to keep it myself and make all that money.
Right.
You don't, the great ideas people don't share. And when you came up with apparel, you went from, what are you doing wasting your time out with all these videos, right? You know, it's so stupid, so stupid, so stupid, right? Focus on bull riding, you know, focus on what you do. But you found out you had a knack for it. You had to try all these different things, and then you were curious and you had to learn how to edit. You had to deal with all the editing stuff. You had to learn all this technology that you had no idea about when you first got started, right? But you put in the time. And that's the key for anybody getting started. You can try 1,000 different things, but there are no shortcuts. You have to put in the time. And when you find something you love, then put in the time to be great at it.
Yes,
because
sir.
once you're great at something, whether it's apparel, whether it's bull riding, whether it's making videos, no one quits anything they're good at, you know, because it's fun and you can make money at it. And that's the difference.
You got to know your numbers. And a lot of people go into partners with somebody, whether it's their best friend or whoever.
Yeah.
But if you know numbers well and you're a financial person, then you better get a partner who knows how to sell and market or knows how to operate whatever you're doing. But a lot of times people go into business together and they both have the same talent.
Because you hire people like you.
Yeah, but you really, for a business to get going, you've got to have, number one, a great product. Yeah. You got to understand the financial side, okay? And then you've got to be able to operate that business, and then you need to have to sell and market that business. And if you don't do all four of those things in the beginning, you're not going to be successful.
The worst mistakes involve not understanding other people as well as you might. I mean, I'm not as smart in a technical sense. I'm not nearly as smart as I was 50 years ago. If you gave me a test involving memory or, you know, ability to pick up new ideas or do math in my head or whatever it might be, I would not score as well as I would have when I was 20 or 30. I think I know a lot more about people than I knew when I was 20 or 30, so that I wish I'd known as much about people when I was 20 as I think I know now. And it would have been helpful in a lot of ways.
The one thing I learned from teachers later become a CEO is that a good teacher always expects his students to do better than him. The teacher wants his students to be good. I want this student be a banker, that be a mayor, that be a scientist. You don't want your students, this one bankrupted, that one in jail. You always expect your students to be better. This is what I learned when I become an entrepreneur. I always want to hire the good people who are smarter than I am, and always making sure that they are better than I am. They always hope that they're better than expected. And if you want them better, training them, disciplining them, supporting them. So I learned a lot. The thing I learned most is being a teacher. So I call myself CEO's Chief Education Officer of the company. So in my life, I'm telling people my age, I'm 53. In my past years, I'm always a good student. Keep on learning. You don't have to be the best, but you have to know who is better than you are and work with him. And always be a good teacher. A good teacher is share the knowledge and expect the other people better than you are. So these are the qualities that I learned and to be a CEO.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight our favorite lessons from the video that will inspire you to remember what you learned today and actually apply them. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there.
I've always been a student, you know, where I
Let's grab one leg and balance. Pull that leg back, bend the other knee, and just think about what you're doing. Find that balance point and hold it. And then bring that leg back, that foot back as far as you can towards your bottom. Feel the pull in the front of the thigh. Not the pain, just the pull. And switch. Find that balance and bring it back. If you lose your balance, that's okay. Just make sure you got space around you. If you fall, you get right back up. You use your determination always. Alright, now let's hug our knee. Again, bend the other knee if you have to for balance and pull that knee up, giving it a big hug as much as you can. And hold it there. Keep fighting to keep that balance if you have to. And let's switch the other one. Okay, all the way up. And and bend that other knee if it helps you with balancing. Alright, good everyone. And let's sit down. Let's reach for our toes, straight knees. Here we go. Again, doing the best we can. The effort is what matters. Doing our best is what matters. We may not get to where we want to be yet. We're going to keep going. Alright, let's do V-shape with our legs and reach for that floor as far away from your body as you can. Hold it there for 10 seconds. And reach for one side and hold it for 10 seconds. Again, really think about what you're doing. Just feel the joy of you being able to attempt to do your best on this. Feel your true being, your presence here right now. And switch. Again, keep thinking about your breathing too. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Alright, let's do feet together. And gently push your knees down with your elbows. Gentle. Here we go. Okay, let's go with one leg forward and one leg back. Knee on the ground, go as far back as you can without hurting yourself, and hold it there. And switch. Other side. Again, keep the knee on the ground and go as far back as you can. But don't lift that knee up. Keep that knee down so you feel the pull in the front of your thigh. Alright, good. And let's roll onto our bellies. And push the floor, look up at the ceiling for a cobra stretch. Hold it for 10 seconds. Alright, excellent. And legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Taking deep, long breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feeling the power of you controlling your breathing. Now, see in your mind what you will do when that music goes on. For me, today I'm going to see myself doing 2 exercises with 2 different songs, and holding the exercise positions in each song for as long as I can, hopefully the whole song. What about you? Maybe you're going to play your own 2 songs, your own music. Choose an exercise. Choose something you want to get better at. Something that will help you continue to develop your strength or your flexibility. Or something that's fun, dancing, but any kind of movement that gets you in a happy, energetic state. But make sure that you have the exercise that you're doing within the space that you have, and you're doing it safely. Make sure that you are thinking about safety first. For me, I'm going to be working on holding the push-up position for the first song, and then for the second song, I'm going to hold this air squat position, hopefully for the duration of both songs. Here we go. I'm going to see it in my mind before I bring it out into the world. Same thing with you. See yourself doing the best you can when that music goes on. Alright, let's go. Determination. Let's go. Energy up. Our best. Here we go. I'm going to hold the push-up position. Ready? What about you? What are you working on? Here we go. whatever it is you want to get better at, there's nothing that you cannot accomplish over time. There ain't no mountain high enough for any of us to accomplish whatever we want out of our lives. But we're going to have to do it together. We're going to have to work together, and it all begins with working on ourselves. See, right now, you are working on your mind and your body. Whatever it is you're doing. For me, holding this push-up position, I get to experience the discomfort, the difficulty, and I get to use my determination, just like you get to use yours, to keep going, to keep working. Even if I'm uncomfortable, even if I'm tired, I get to determine if I can do a little bit more than I did last time. Just like you do, whatever it is you're doing. Let's go, everyone. Keep going, keep going. Almost there, halfway through the song. Let's go. Don't forget your breathing. Alright. Gotta finish that song. I didn't make it through the whole song, but next time I'll keep working on it. Right now, I gotta keep going. I get to work on it right now. Here we go. Keep going, everyone. Song's not over. Let's go. Keep going. Keep your effort, your energy, your true power, your determination. Keep your music going inside. Let's go. All right. Next song. Here we go.
I just knew that.
Are you ready to bubble? Everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 bubbling, dance all night, we go dance all night. Yo, are you ready to bubble? Dance all night, we go dance all night. Ha ha, we want to see dance all night, we go dance all night. Dance all, dance all, dance all, dance. All right, y'all. Are you ready to bubble? Bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, little bubble, bubble, bubbling, bubbling, everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, everybody bubble, bubble, bubbling, 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 everybody bubbling, little bubble, bubbling, yo, bubbly, 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 bum, 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 bubbly, 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 bum, bubble, bubble, bubble. All right, make way when you see me pass through, and they come with me too. You don't know what to do. Drinks up, hands up, everything in the air. Everybody done drunk, there's a party over here. That's right, we drink just bubbling. Watch how we wine while the DJ juggling. He got the whole dance floor just bubbling. Champagne bottle just popping. We going on, I guess the night not stopping. Let's party hard tonight. So going non-stop until the sunlight. We going non-stop until the sunlight. The club done full, only woman inside. It's a good night to get we head tight. It's a good night to get we head tight. Couple up this party going for a flight. Green drinks, we don't care, we go down.
Rakitic. And Messi! No mistake this time!
Good afternoon, guys. How you doing so far today? Are you trying your best to be the best you can be in anything you're doing. Look at your day. It's not over. Go back at it again. Think about something that you consider perhaps a loss, or something that you know you could have did better at. Go back to the thinking that was involved in that. And now remember the two greatest weapons, tools you have always at your disposal: your belief in yourself and your determination. Your spirit of never giving up, getting back at it again if you have that opportunity again today, or thinking about the future when that opportunity may come back to you, and think about how you will respond differently this time. That is the spirit of always doing your best, even if you've experienced a loss or a failure. Never forget, you can learn from it. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
I like to read things and learn things. You know, I didn't even want to drop out of Harvard because I loved, you know, going to lots and lots of classes. I audited a lot more than I was signed up for, but you know, I saw it as a unique time. And so I'd say my curiosity about, okay, what is climate? What are the source of emissions? Or for my foundation, you know, why do children in Africa die 40 times the rate as they do in other countries? You know, wanting to get to the bottom of those things, wanting to meet the people who are measuring those problems and coming up with solutions. And so the ability to organize innovators and think through with them how we could create breakthrough solutions, and that's common to my Microsoft work, my foundation work on disease, and now through Breakthrough Energy, the climate work we're doing.
I always tell people, sometimes I get, we'll have a good quarterly conference call or something, and Wall Street will like our quarterly results, and I'll get, people will stop me and say, congratulations on your quarter, and I say, thank you. But what I'm really thinking is, that quarter was baked 3 years ago. Right now, I'm working on a quarter that's going to reveal itself in 2021 sometime. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to be out sort of, 2 or 3 years in advance. And if you are, and then why do I need to make 100 decisions today? If I make like 3 good decisions a day, that's enough. And they should just be as high quality as I can make them.
What does it take to, become as successful as you did and do everything that was possible to be done? What does it take?
Well, I think that the number one thing is you have to have a very clear vision, a very clear goal of where you want to go, because only then you will get there. You can have the best airplane or the best ship in the world, but if the captain doesn't know where to go, he will just drift around. If the pilot does not know where to go, he will just drift around with his plane. So I think the key thing is that we know where we're going, and that you're very passionate about that, and that you see it always in front of you, the goal. And the other thing that's important is that you got to shoot for the top. You got to go and really have big goals and think big, because then you're going to get big. Then you're going to go and achieve big things. That is the most important thing. We don't achieve big things by accident. So shoot for the top, shoot for the sky, shoot for the for the stars. The other thing is that you got to work your butt off. If you think that you're going to go and accomplish something really special and be the best in anything in the world, and you think you can do it without working, you make a big mistake. Because no matter what I did, if it was in bodybuilding or in acting, or if it is in the political arena, it always took a lot of work. And you got to put out, and you got to, sometimes make a lot of sacrifices. Notice, if you're not willing to work hard, forget about it. So there's another rule that is very important. I think another one is just don't be afraid to fail. Because if you're afraid to fail, then you're always holding yourself back, because you're afraid that if you go all out, you may fail. Well, in weightlifting, we learned that very quickly. The only way you could break a record is if you're willing to fail. That's when you put on more weight, you try it, sometimes you would not be able to lift it, which has happened to me many times, but eventually, when you train hard enough, you will lift it. So don't be afraid to fail. I mean, how far can you fall?
My advice is just do things that are true to you. most things that I'm involved with are extension of being creative. You know, Rockaway is a clothing company. You know, it's part of who you are, and hip hop is your attitude and what you're trying to express, how you dress. You know, I love sports growing up. I grew up in a household where sports was on 24/7. So these are things that are, you know, are comfortable for me. You know, these are things that I like. So I would just say get involved in things that you love, and also have a standard for yourself and have some sort of integrity and try to, you know, find some sort of truth in what you're doing.
Why are you still so competitive in the aspect of
I love what I do. And then when you love what you do, you want to be the best at it. You know, you don't make music to be second best. You make music to be the best. So whatever you do, it don't have to be music. You're not sitting here trying to, be second to Pierce Morgan or one of those
Zane Lowe.
Zane Lowe. You don't want to be you don't want to be second to Zane Lowe. You're looking at Zane Lowe like, are you kidding me? In a good way. I mean, in a good way. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I do this. Like, I've been doing this a long time. So sometimes you have to throw your stats out there to remind people your last shit ain't better than my first shit. Yeah. You know, it's a true statement to me. Like, there's a lot of people last shit ain't. I mean, it's reasonable doubt. So it's hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to put your stats out there to remind people. Like, yo. This is, I'm the real deal.
You have to pay attention to your life because it is speaking to you all the time. And the bumps in the road and the failures that pointed me in a new direction and led me to a path made clear. That is what I'm wishing for you today, your own path made clear. And I know that there is a lot of anxiety, a lot about what the future holds and how much money you're going to make. But your anxiety does not contribute one iota to your progress, I'm here to tell you. It does the opposite. Look at how many times you worried and you were upset and you didn't think you were going to make it through the block. I got that text a couple months ago. And here you are today. You made it. And I'm here to tell you that you're going to be more than okay. So take a deep breath with me right now and repeat this. Everything is always working out for me. I want to hear it. Everything is always working out for me. That's my mantra. Make it yours. Everything is always working out for me because it is, and it has, and it will continue to be as you forge and discover your own path.
The advice I can give to all of you is if you have a dream, you just got to go for it. Now, there's a point at which you have to say, enough, it's not working, let's go on to the next thing. But I'd stretch it out before I got to that point, because a lot of times, just before you turn that last corner is the time that you really get depressed. And just think of what would happen if you hadn't gone around that corner.
I think just generally the path to leadership should not be through, basically MBA business school situation. It's like it should be kind of work your way up, do useful things, and and there's a bit too much of the somebody goes to a high-profile MBA school and then kind of parachutes in as the leader, but they don't actually know how things work. They could be good at, say, PowerPoint presentations or something like that, and they can present well, but they don't actually know how things work because they do not, they parachute in instead of like working their way out.
They never went through an apprenticeship, for lack of a better word.
They're kind of like just not aware of what's really needed for to make great products. So. I mean, I don't want to trash MBAs too much here, and I actually do have a dual undergrad, Wharton undergrad, and physics at UPenn. So, so I have I have direct exposure to business school, and I went to do undergrad business school with physics, but and I was a teaching assistant for 2 semesters, and I graded MBAs and undergrads, so. But I think it's just a little bit too much. Like people look at MBA school as like, I want to parachute into being the boss instead of earning it, and like I don't think that's good.
This is another thing I studied, multiple intelligence theory. That we have these discrete intelligence there, which I mean, I don't agree quite the way it was written, but there was an element of truth in it. Mm-hmm. And so if you realize that, then you say, okay, I'm good at certain things and I'm not good at others. And if I want to contribute, I can't be doing it all, or I'll make a mess of it. So I've got to go partner with people. And whenever I found the right partners who were good at all the other things that needed to be done that I wasn't, then I've succeeded. And when I haven't had good partners that I've tried to do myself, I've failed.
There were lots of times, especially in the early days, that were very, very difficult. I think the most difficult experience I had was in 1990 when Oracle had its only loss quarter in history. And we've been in business for 20 years. Of those 20 years, we lost money one quarter, and we had a very difficult time because we had doubled our sales virtually every year for 10 years. 9 out of 10 years, 10 out of 11 years. It was really quite an amazing run. We were the fastest growing company in history. We still are the fastest growing company in history over a long period of time. And suddenly we'd hit a wall. We would reach $1 billion in revenue, and we were having serious management problems all over the place. And the people who were running the company, the $1 billion company, were the same people that had run the company when we were a $50 million company, 1/20th the size. And I had an incredible sense of loyalty to those people who'd worked with me to build Oracle. And it was a very painful realization in 1990 that I was going to have to change the management team, that the company had outgrown the management, that people who are good at running a $50 million company are not necessarily, those aren't the same skills. They're just different. Not one is better or worse. They're just entirely different skill set in running a $50 million company than a $1 billion company. And both skill sets are rare and precious. But we needed a different group of managers, and virtually the entire management team had to be replaced. And that means I had to ask people who I'd worked with for a decade to leave. I had to fire people. And that was the most difficult thing I had to do in business, asking a bunch of people to leave Oracle. But I had no choice.
That's what I wanted to do, so I started.
All right, next is air squats for me, holding the air squat position. How about you? Whatever it is you're working on, do it to the best of your ability, whatever it takes. Let's go, everybody. If you're doing what I'm doing, that's great. Follow along. Just holding the air squat position on the bottom end. Doing my best to hold it for the whole song. So arms out, feet are flat on the floor. My bottom is as far down as I can go, and hold it there. Looking straight ahead. Whatever it takes to continue working on ourselves every day, everybody. Let's go. Gym of life never stops. Wherever we are, we get to work on ourselves wherever we go. And by doing that, we change everything around us. When we improve ourselves, we will help improve the lives of all of those around us. With your determination, you get to work on yourself, become better, and help the world become better, all at the same time. Keep going, keep going. Feel that discomfort, but choose to go a little bit further than you can. Safely, of course. Always safe. All right. Whew. Feels great to be giving your best at something. We're not giving up. Let's go. Song's still going. Gotta keep going. Here we go. Just a few deep breaths. And then we keep going. Finish strong, always. Here we go, determination. You should be proud of your effort. I'm so proud of you. If you're still going on your exercise, whatever you're doing, if you're doing your best, be proud of yourself. That's the true you, the one that never gives up. No matter how hard something is, whatever it is in life, keep going, keep going. Let's go, determination. I'm so proud of you. I love you. Keep going. Let's go. We're going to finish strong. Finish strong with this song. Here we go. Whatever it takes to bring out our greatness, our determination, our true being. Here we go. Ready? We're ready to go to the top together in life. Let's go, everybody. All right. Good work, everybody.
Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría, cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría, cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría, cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, Macarena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, que tu cuerpo para dar la alegría, cosa buena. Dale a tu cuerpo alegría, Macarena, Macarena.
Here's Neymar. And Messi! Oh, it's delightful!
Good evening, guys. How did it go today? Were you able to do your best? If you were, that's a victory, no matter what, even if you didn't get the win that you were looking for. I want to share with you a personal story. One of my greatest challenges, and I think it's a challenge for all of us, is to really seek to understand the other person that I'm trying to help and do my best with. And I want to share an example with my relationship with my wife. The other day, as you know, I'm excited and I try to apply the things that I'm trying to talk about and learn about every day. And so I asked my wife at the end of the night when we were exhausted and ready to go to bed, I said, honey, what's one thing you love about yourself? So thinking that, okay, we can create some conversation. You know, we haven't really spent much time together. It's so busy. And she just turned to me and said, that's not what I want to talk about now. And then it reminded me, I thought, okay, I got to get into what is going on in the other person's heart and mind, not just my own. So let's learn from that. Have a great evening, everyone.
I'd have to either ask them to leave Oracle, or everyone would have to leave Oracle because there wouldn't be any Oracle left. So it was, in that sense, it was a simple choice. It was thousands of people worked at Oracle. They deserve the best leadership we could find. And my primary responsibility was to the company and all of the staff, all of our shareholders and all of our customers. And therefore, I had to choose. And if I couldn't make that decision, then I had to go.
The other thing that we've really found over time at Google, watching at other companies, watching many of you, is the importance of the development cycle and how you really need to be able to churn quickly through things. And because, obviously you're going to have failures. You're going to have the wrong idea. But it's important to fail quickly.
There's a Shark Tank company from last season called Mush, right? Cool stuff. It's like this oatmeal that they packaged. It's fresh dried oatmeal that they packaged with a little spoon, and it has to be refrigerated, but you just grab it and go. And the response was great from the show. And now, like I just saw their numbers, they went from 50,000 in sales to 100,000 to 125,000 in 3 straight months. It's not scale, but they're growing, right? And they all of a sudden are like, okay, we got to go raise money and we got to do yada, 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 right? Scale is hard not just because of the economic cost, but also because of the people cost and the mind share cost. It's hard when you're dealing with a major company, and in particular if you're dealing with a big company like a Walmart or Costco or whatever, because you only get one shot at those guys. And so like I told Mush with Whole Foods, they're interested. I'm like, you're not ready. You're not ready. You have got to crawl before you ball, and so I told him it's going to be painful not to go after that big customer, but think about what happens if you go after it and A, it's going to take capital you don't have and you're going to borrow it, or B, it doesn't work out and they return it all. Then all of a sudden you're out of business. And so you're right that you need capital to scale, but you also need the confidence that you can scale and that you can keep your customers happy. And so I always tell people, get to the point where you've taken care of the customers that you can take care of. Once you can demonstrate that, then you can get smart money, and you're talking from a position of power. And then you can go to the Walmarts of the world, the Costcos, and you may not even have to raise money. They may even provide PO leverage or PO support or connect you with a bank that does. And so I guess what I'm saying is don't get too far ahead of yourself, because sometimes sales can be a lot more expensive than you think they are. And you've got to be careful. I've seen several of my Shark Tank companies try to get too big too fast, and it almost put them out of business.
Why should someone like myself or a business owner get a line of credit, get cash out, even if they're already thriving and doing well and they've got cash in the bank? What's the importance of that?
Well, everybody does different things, and you got to do with what you're comfortable with. And I've always been comfortable with borrowing money, but that's also my success, because the way you look at every, unless you're a tech baby again, the world was created because of leverage finance, okay? Right. There's the reason that you had, all the tech companies and the media companies and the great big casinos in Vegas, the things that cost billions of dollars.
They had to raise a lot of money.
You did it with leverage finance, with my good friend in California, Michael Milken, really came up with. But that's why there was such an explosiveness in the 80s, because of leverage finance. I've always been scared of debt, but I haven't been scared of debt. I never had a problem with using it, but I talk in my book this is the problem that we all do, is say you have a small business and you want to go out and borrow some money, and you do a pro forma for the bank, a budget, to keep it simple for people. People always give a budget that is the best case scenario, and they start to drink their own Kool-Aid and think that's what they're going to do. Well, one of the things that
projections, like here's where we're going to be in 3 years and 5 years.
Yeah, or even next year. And what I've always done is I've done that for the bank, but even today, in a deal that I bought last week, I want a worst case scenario.
Wow.
The world's coming apart, okay? And all of a sudden, all your expensive accounts are gone, and are people still going to eat steaks?
Yeah.
And I run a budget and a performa based on that.
Wow.
So best case scenario, worst case scenario. Because you know what happens 80% of the time? The worst case scenario.
Really?
Yes, that's
Wow.
just life.
Right.
And that's a tool that I've always used, because what happens is they give that to the bank or to whoever, and all of a sudden you start drinking your own Kool-Aid like that's easy to do. It's not easy to do. Being successful in business is not easy.
Yeah.
But that's why I talk about just simple tools in here. When HarperCollins came to me, they didn't say we want a life story. We see you on your show. We see you on these business talk shows. We read these articles. We want you to write about your tools, why you've never failed and you've made it through all these recessions. Whether you're a corporate person or you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Why did you get to go like this and never really went like this?
Right.
And back to legs crossed, back straight, eyes closed. Feeling the power of you regaining control of your breathing. No matter how fast your breathing became, your heart started pumping faster. Started automatically going faster. Right now, we get to take control of our breathing. To keep our back straight, our eyes closed, and our legs crossed. The same way, we get to take control of our thoughts, our mind, at any time, which will then control our bodies and our feelings directly. That's how powerful you are. But you have to believe 100% in this power, this infinitely intelligent being within you and all of us. You got to believe with all your heart and soul that you can do something. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing else or nobody else will. We're all looking to you. We're all looking to each other to find out the truth of what is already in us. We hold the key, each and every one of us. It all starts with our power to believe 100% in who we really are. That's the greatest determination you can make. 100% believing in you, no matter what, no matter how many mistakes, how many so-called failures, losses, pain, suffering you've experienced. You get to learn from all of it. You get to realize the truth, that there is no such thing as failure. There is only fuel from our mistakes and our losses, which gets transformed, gets used to create our determination. And once again, everyone, that's why I love you. I love myself, and I love all of us. We have the power, just like we did today, to do our best at everything, to learn from everything. So keep going, keep learning. Yeah, we want win-win for everybody. That's the ultimate truth, isn't it? We all want that. We want justice, equality, fairness, happiness, mind wealth for everybody, because we know it's what we really are inside. Heart, mind, and body. I love you, everyone. Have a great day, a great week, and always a great life. I'll see you soon. Love you.